everyone, my name is NerdBuilder. I'd like to welcome you back into another episode of MineColonies. I hope you're having a great day so far. So, this part of town is looking very much different than it has in the past. We're standing over by our house over here, and you can see our little airstrip that we still need to kind of make upgrade our airport, I guess, add maybe a guard tower as an air traffic control tower and add some apron and some taxiways. So not a ton of space to work with, but again, we don't need a ton of space for it. But we've been busy this past week in our live streams. We started building up in this area by adding in some couriers huts, and off stream recently I built a second warehouse. Now, I haven't had the game running long enough with the warehouse running, with the second warehouse running, to see if it makes an impact. But from what I've seen so far, for just watching it for a little while, it doesn't seem like the couriers who are assigned to the second warehouse, because you cannot have them assigned to both warehouses. So our main one is right here, which we have 7 couriers assigned. And over here, we just have one. I built an 8th courier's hut over behind next to the warehouse, the second warehouse. And for some reason, I'm not exactly sure why, there's nothing in the config file, and it should support multiple warehouses. It's not really getting too many requests to put stuff in there. Let's actually head on over, because I do see movement in there, but it could be from Maddox, who is doing an upgrade. Yeah, it's Maddox. Okay. So there is one courier. I originally assigned 3 in here to see what would happen, but they were just kind of standing around in here. But there is some stuff that found its way into here, I will say. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So some stuff did find its way in. There was originally just books and paper, and then I think carrots and potatoes, but it looks like they've added like a few things. My thought could be, and I'd be curious if anyone has had an experience with a second warehouse. The reason we did it was just because our first warehouse has had some pretty significant storage issues the past few days that requires it to be sorted multiple times per day. So I kind of wanted to have a second warehouse for now until we can get, well, we're going to keep it, but so that we can get the other one, until we get the other one up to level 5. And then we could start upgrading with blocks of emerald to create more space. But I figure like we could have 2 warehouses. I hope I didn't place them too close together, that they're choosing the other warehouse to store stuff. But it doesn't seem like a lot is getting stored in here. So I wanted to have it kind of next to the airport, just because, we were looking to build up this area a little bit. And it's kind of like, having like a cargo area next to the airport right here, which I thought would be kind of cool. But we also, if anyone has any experience though with dual warehouses, please let me know down below in the comments there. I'm really curious to see. I'm going to pose this question on our Discord as well, because I'm going to be curious to see how people have handled it. If maybe if I put them too close together, or what the situation is, because I'd really like to get both of them functioning if we can, because that way they have a lot of space here to store some stuff in, so that both warehouses will have stuff within them. Obviously, the couriers will not, the stuff will not, they won't be able to go from one warehouse to the other to move stuff or to pick stuff up, but at least, there could be multiple requests put in for each warehouse there. So yeah, let me know down below if anyone's had any experience with it and how you've made it work, if you have made it work, or if you find it doesn't work. I know I checked on the wiki and it does support it. So it does support multiple warehouses, but it doesn't give much information. And as far as I could tell, like I said earlier, there's nothing in the config file. So, but anyways, moving on. So we added some extra couriers huts and a new house over here as well. We're going to have to do some rearranging of colonists, because our couriers over here have a bit of a hike from their other houses, so we're going to have to move some around. We had some new Berts come in here, and that's who occupies this house right now. But the other cool thing that I think we're going to do coming up eventually is we're going to do some decorating around the colony. And I think this area right over here, I've been kind of saving this because I would like to put an ice rink in over here and see how that goes. There is a decoration option with your build tool to build various decorations around your colony. And I feel like this we should start doing that to kind of maybe like make some playgrounds and some parks and things like that and kind of fit them in around the colony. So I think our first one will end up being an ice skating rink over here. And it kind of makes sense because that area of the colony past our house gets very warm in the summer and it stays somewhat mild in the winter. Like it snows there, but the temperature doesn't drop as far. Whereas over here, the temperature drops very, very far, especially when it snows over here. And it's a lot cooler in this area opposed to that area in the summer, which we're in right now. It's very difficult to stay up walking around in that area for prolonged periods of time without getting hot. Likewise, down here in the winter, it's the same thing. But right now, it's somewhat mild down here. You can see, like, from our little indication bubble that we're warm. But, down here, I've never had it combust in the flames down this way. So, yeah, just some thoughts over here, because I think we'll do some more terraforming here. And let's run down this way and work our way back. So over this way, from our last time, or the last episode, building the florist, we did upgrade it, got it all upgraded to level 3. So here is a level 3 florist. You can see it adds some extra spaces here for some extra flowers to be grown. And it's giving the option now for let's see what it's done so far. So even rose bushes and tulips, which are a little bit harder to find. So, we can turn these on or off. Depending, I'm going to leave them running right now just because our composters are going through a ton of material, and we have a ton of poppies, obviously, from our iron farm. So I said poppies is one of the ones that the composters can use to create some compost. So yeah, that was going on here. So we're going to leave them all on for now. We'll see if it gets overwhelming, and we can always change that in time. Here our composters are chugging away over here. But let's head on over back this way. And we cleared out this area somewhat as well to make some space for some other trees, because we temporarily put a stop on any oak or spruce production because we have much too much of it. And so I'm allowing him to do like dark oak wood, acacia, and even jungle wood, even though I think he ran out of saplings for the jungle wood. It doesn't seem like they drop as many saplings. But yeah, so this is all kind of cleared out in this area, which, there were a ton of trees and everything over here. So I'm happy to see that this is like more cleared up over here. But yeah, let's head on back up. Now you'll see some scaffolding right there. So what I've spent some time doing around our live streams was we were staying up all night to try to collect some phantom membranes for our elytra, which we were able to do. So we got about 49, I think, of them. So that should be enough to last for now there. So I was doing that. And then like some of the phantoms were dropping their phantom membranes on the roof. So I put a little scaffolding there to get up there. So if they dropped it, so we'll take that down eventually. And we do have our railway here. That this railway was put in because we've had this big congestion going on, and the goal of it is to help the couriers mostly. That's like the main goal of this, to help them be able to get around faster, and it has helped. I think they were able to get rid of a lot of their goods a lot more quickly. Now I think their list might be a little long because I moved a couple of them over, and not too long. I moved a couple of them over, like I said, to the other warehouse, but they weren't doing anything, so I moved 2 back. So I'm just going to leave the 1 over there for now, and we'll see how that goes. And, see if we can figure it out. I cleared some space in this warehouse, but I might let this warehouse fill up and see what happens if, once it fills up, if they start using the other warehouse or what the situation is. So I think the next time we get the warning, I'm not going to do that. But also, I should mention that we did fully staff out our barracks tower this week. So we do have a full array of guards. We've been upping our security little by little, added some extra golems over there. And another cool thing that we did this week on the live stream is we made a truck, finally. And, we had our little clunker right here, which has gotten the job done. I think clunker might be a little harsh for it, but Yeah, we got the truck, which the cool thing of it, because we added some extra storage in the back here, which you have to do. I'll have to make a separate video explaining this out a little bit more about how to make them. But yeah, we added an extra storage there. So if we sneak and right click, you can see we have about 54 inventory spaces just in the back here to store stuff in, which has been great because we're testing it out by moving some stuff to the composter from the restaurant. Some of the eggs, I was trying to get rid of some of them. You can see I still have some in my inventory of these fried eggs and, seeds and all that stuff. So it has worked great. On the inside here, we do have a little bit of room. I stashed a bunch of keys here. And we also have, you can see, a larger tank, so we're at 93% fuel. But I'll take a quick drive around just to kind of show, because this is definitely different than our little clunker. And you can see right away it's taking a lot more to pick it up. So we do have a truck engine in there. But yeah, so it takes a bit more to get this thing going there, and it doesn't move as fast as the other one. But we can also maybe build an SUV or some of the sort. I also want to build a cargo plane eventually, and I've talked about in our live streams that I think a cargo plane would be good, especially when we're retrieving things from our iron farm over here. So that in our iron farm, we can maybe put a runway in over here, and we can land the cargo plane and load up the plane and then bring it back over here to our airstrip and then load it onto the truck and bring it over either to one of the warehouses or bring it to our other storage area over here. So, just kind of working on the logistics of things. And yeah, another thing we did this week too, while we're over here, is we did upgrade the restaurant to level 4. I've been wanting to do that because it's been like maxed out with like food. So there's been like no space anywhere. So it looks like now she does have some space. Not much going on. It looks like just some. We're still having kind of a wheat shortage, unfortunately, but okay, it looks like the food has come down a little bit there, because all these racks were like fully stuffed, most of these ones over here, but it looks like now with the extra space and, maybe they slowed down because I took away a lot of the eggs. There were like a ton of fried eggs because we had so many here. So, but we still have the minimum stock set over here. We had 2 egg chests, which are now gone. They were kind of just chilling over here because we didn't have anywhere else to put them at the time when we had our chicken farm, and then obviously we took that down. So, now they're being used for compost, and, several of them were fried, which we're using for compost as well. But another thing that we did over here too is we did build 2 new guard towers over here, because first off, we don't have like a lot of room over here to put another building in, but second, we also do get pirate attacks over in these areas. So I figured having a guard tower up this way that we could just kind of shoot down at them would be good. We also extended the road out over here. You could see it in the other direction too, that we extended it out. But you can see right here, here's our other new guard tower, and this is here. So same thing. That, because again, we do get some that come on over here, and we could actually see here some visitors down this way right now. And they're not going to be able to get in here, luckily, if they're down there. So let's just... There we go. I don't see their captain, but okay. Yeah, so these walls working miracles. Looks like we have a visitor on top of our house. There, but yeah, let me show one last thing before we jump into our build for today. We were also working on a greenhouse over our farm over here, and the main reason for it is because, again, we've been having a massive wheat shortage, that our cowhand has been burning through wheat like crazy, and we haven't been able to keep up with the supply. Let me just stop right here. This truck is huge, F350. But yeah, so it's a pretty basic one. Again, just tried to stagger the roof a little bit, or, add some tiers to the roof to give it a different look. We still have to finish up here and put some doors here, but it has helped somewhat. I think it's hard to tell. I think we're going to have to maybe put some lanterns, because in the winter it does snow, and the snow does collect up there, so that kind of cuts out some of the light level. So I think we're going to have to put some lanterns in here, or at least put some torches on the outside to keep snow from accumulating on the inside. here. But yeah, they've been doing a lot. I think it's been helping mostly. I've seen them that crops have been growing in the winter and they have been harvesting them because, again, with the seasons mod, the crops pretty much only grow like some of these crops, like the wheat and the carrots, I believe, only grow in like summer and fall. So there's like 2 seasons out of 4 that we can essentially farm, which is inhibiting our ability to get like enough grain. So, or wheat, I should say. So, yeah, I'm hoping that the greenhouse will end up paying off. We have a few things to touch up over here, but we'll get these all touched up and closed off, and maybe get some lanterns on the roof over here to help out, and like maybe some torches on top as well to keep the lights going in here. So maybe we can have them hanging down by chains or something like that. So it looks like they're stuck behind our truck. They seem to very much like standing like on top of our vehicles. I'm not sure why, but okay. And I'll just show over here the last update. I lied. One more update here. So did upgrade the Combat Academy to level 3. Has gotten very massive now, but we do have 3 training here that will be Knights in Training, and our backup Nether Miner, which are, knock on wood again, our Nether Miner has been doing great. She has not died yet, knock on wood. Again, probably going to jinx it, but her stats are very high now. And yeah, so Ford has been essentially her replacement in training, and he's just kind of been chilling. And he's here because to get his adaptability up. His strength is okay, but his adaptability is really high now after his time here. So we did get this all upgraded. We have a couple people training, and over here we did get our new mine upgraded to level 4 here. So he's been digging down. They've been coming back with a lot of diamonds, which I've been happy with. We have almost a full stack now. We were very, very low on diamonds. I haven't had much time to actually go diamond mining. I think we might have to do that again soon, but it's really helped out having them be able to bring back a lot of diamonds so we can repair some of our tools and whatnot there. So, and we also upgraded this house over here. This was like the last holdout that was uncovered, that there was a level 2 house. I thought we had gotten them all upgraded, but there was one that we did not get. So it is there. So those are pretty much, I think that's all the updates. We were really busy this past week, and we have a lot more to go too, especially with trying to get the other warehouse functioning. And I haven't gotten the message in a while now on the bottom. So I'm just gonna, see. I'm gonna keep monitoring it, and I'll give an update in the next episode about what's going on with the two warehouses there. So yeah, with that, what we're gonna do today is we're going to build the mechanics hut. So I'm gonna go jump into bed since it's nighttime, and what we'll do is we will start today's build. So stay tuned, and I'll see you over at the build site. Okay, so we're standing over here with a very gorgeous view, with the sunlight behind us here as the sun rises for the day, of our lake just on the southeastern side of our colony. And we haven't really done a lot of building on this side of these rail tracks. We've been building down the road this way, but we haven't really done much over here. And I wasn't sure initially what we were going to do with this area across from here, because we've been expanding down, but not so much away, and I don't know how much if buildings will be able to fit in here. But what we're going to do for today's build is we're going to build the mechanics hut, and we're going to see if we can try to fit it in over here to see, we just need to leave a little bit of room because eventually we'll want to put a road in here. But I think this would be a good spot to start kind of building some other crafting buildings going down this way here. So I felt it was also a good time to do the mechanics hut. Now I weighed doing the dyer's hut, but the reason we didn't is I think we have more of a need for a building that can produce redstone items at this point rather than dyes. Eventually we'll probably look to do the dyer in short order. But as the main reason was because the nether miner over here has been burning through torches very, very quickly as of late. So I've had to go and craft a bunch, and they don't last that long. So if we can kind of automate that process a little bit, that would be great. And of course, we're going to be able to build a lot of other redstone items as well. So the mechanics hut cannot be built until you have a level 3 blacksmith's hut or 3 level 1 blacksmith's huts or another equivalent. And you have to do the research in the university there, which I believe unlocks after the blacksmith's hut there. So the mechanic will craft redstone items, rails, minecarts, clocks, compasses, sea lanterns, torches, lanterns, jack-o'-lanterns, storage blocks. So blocks such as iron, coal, or quartz there if you want to convert them over to save some space. Dried kelp blocks, blue ice, packed ice, enchantment tables, ender chests, tripwire hooks, sticky pistons, gates, multi-pistons, glowstone blocks, anything with blaze rods, and a bunch other items. So can actually do a lot. This mechanic's going to open up a lot of new crafting things for our colonist, and it's good. They're going to be a little bit more self-sufficient now with it, with the building process, because some of these redstone items we've had to keep manually crafting because we don't have that ability right now. And with like torches and any other redstone items that might come up, we're going to have a way to have those crafted automatically. And as always, with these buildings, you're going to have to teach them the recipe in order for them to be able to make it. And they have to receive a request to make the item, so they don't just like continually make any of these items. I think a way around that, which we do on certain items, is in our warehouse. What we do is we set a minimum stock for certain things that we know we're going to need a lot of. So in this case, like I'll use stone and stone brick and stone like blocks, bricks, as like an example, because we use a lot of them in our builds. So I have it set for like a couple stacks in our warehouse. So certain things, like I think like torches, I'll probably set a minimum stock for there to make sure that there is that we have enough torches stored in the warehouse. And then potentially we'll see what else we're going to set as like a minimum stock there. But as always, the size of the mechanics hut also impacts the number of recipes. So at a level 1, you can have 10 recipes, 2, 20, 3, 40, 480, and 5 160 recipes. So this is going to be one of those 10 recipe slots I can feel are going to be going off the board very, very quickly. So let me switch back into first person here, and we're going to come over here, and I'm going to place down the crafting table, and we're going to make the block. So a little bit more of an expensive block for this one. So you're going to need a block of redstone there, with is 9 redstone and not coal. We need some spruce planks around the outside. Any type of planks around the outside, we're going to use spruce. So here we go. Here's the block. We're going to go ahead and grab that. And we're going to try to place it down. Let me just move our build tool down here. But we're going to place it down over here. Let's see how big this thing is. I don't want it like in front of the fisherwoman's hut. I think we'll have it over to the side here. So let me go ahead. Let's just try to slap this down and see how big this is. Hopefully it'll fit there. So of course, there might be a little bit of flashing. So just as a heads up, if you're sensitive, it's a good time to look away from it. So let's use our build tool, and let's go ahead. And I think we're going to do stone just because our other buildings over here all have that stone type of feel. And it's a long building. Yeah, it's definitely a long building, but let's see. It might not be that. Actually, it's not that massive. That's good. So we got to turn this around. And let's come over here. Here we go. Here is the front of it. Now we're going to line it up with the water, and we're going to bring it over a little bit more. You want to leave some room so that way, we can have a road come through. Yeah, I think... Yeah, this is going to be, I think, like the... So let's see, we'll be cutting away, some water over here if we move it all the way over, but that's fine, if we're cutting away at the bay a little bit. The fisherwoman doesn't, fish in this area anyways, mostly on the dock or around the dock, so this should be okay. I think we'll leave... let's see the front. Let's see if we're going to move it back one more. Or I could always just terraform that out. Actually, I don't think we need to. Yeah, I don't think we need to. Okay. So I think that'll be okay. like that. I could always leave this for... I think, well, you know what? I'm going to bring it back one more. Let's bring it back. Let's just do it. Okay. So it'll be coming off, taking a little bit of the side away here, but good. Let's take a look at this thing at a level 5, and let's make sure that the height should be good. I'm seeing the path here, but always good to double check. Yep. So good there. Let's take a look at this thing at level 5. So it is a pretty big, a longer building, not so much like you know, wide, but long. Well, kind of wide too, I guess. There, but okay. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. I think this will be a good spot to put this down. So let's go ahead and place this down. And let's take a look and see what we need to craft this. So, you know, we could see already. We'll go through this list a little bit more later, but where we could set the recipes there. And let's see, I think maybe we did yep, we did do the research. So we could change that if we need to as well. We'll get into that more later. And let's take a look here. So just some glass pane, dirt, clock, gravel. All right, and some glass. All right, not bad. They should be able to craft. We'll have to make a compass too. And a flint and steel. And we'll have to get some bone meal. So a few things that I'll need to grab in advance here. But what we'll do is we're going to do this by way of a time lapse. So I'm just going to step away quickly, gather some of these materials, and we'll check out the build. Okay, and we're back, and you can see Maddox hanging out, just chilling behind us. But yeah, not too difficult of a build. Like I said, I just had to gather some materials at the beginning, but I think the time lapse, it was pretty quick. It was quicker than the floors, that's for sure. But let's go inside here. And yeah, very humble looking. I like these ones that have the skylights like that. I think that's very cool, especially with like the shaders. I think it's cool just seeing the sun, come through them. But there is some racks in here, which is good to see for some storage. But let's go ahead first and let's hire a worker. So it looks like we need knowledge and agility. Those are the two stats here. And actually, Layla looks pretty good. 12 agility, 10 knowledge. Yeah, so maybe we'll just go with Layla there. So let's go ahead and hire her there. And we can see already here, we get 15 recipes. So we have about 13 more. You can see these are two default. One's a wooden gate and a iron gate. So that's pretty cool, if we ever want to put any of those gates up anywhere. But, you can also do some of the architect's cutter recipes here as well. And, there is the recipe mode for doing there is a research for it. I believe we must have done it because I think we can change that. But recipe mode, it's unlocked by doing the warehouse master research in the university. It allows you to order change the order the hut chooses when it knows more than one recipe for an item. So you have the priority one, which is basically the demanding, of anyone who needs any other worker that needs anything, their request will be taken care of first, or the warehouse stock. So they'll look to see what's inside the warehouse there. But yeah, we're gonna have a lot of recipes to teach here. I know the very first one, and I had to grab some sticks out of the warehouse because unfortunately, we are running very low on space. And I'm realizing right now we don't have, I don't know if it matters. Let me see. I was gonna say we don't have any coal, but we'll use some charcoal because they're gonna have a lot more coal than they are charcoal. But let's just go ahead. We'll teach a recipe here. You can see we get the 3x3 interface, and we could teach torches, which that's the very first one I wanted to kind of go after, if it saves it. I'm not sure if it saved it or not. Very bizarre. Let's try that again. Oh, that's weird. Okay, well, I'll mess around with it and try to add some more recipes in, and we'll see. It's not taking for some reason, not exactly sure why. I'll try with coal. I don't know if that makes a difference or not, but yeah. So I think we're going to leave it here for today, guys. Thank you so much for coming in and watching the building here of the mechanics hut. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please consider dropping a like down below. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm, and it is a great free way to support the channel there. And if you're not subscribed or following, please consider subscribing. It's free, doesn't cost anything. Again, another excellent way to support the channel here so more people can find our little community. And if you are on Discord, we do have a channel Discord that is open to everyone, free of charge there, where you can ask questions on MineColonies, see our upcoming schedule, mods, and things like that there. But otherwise, we'll be back in another week with another build, which I'm debating, but we'll see. All right, until then, my name is NerdBuilder. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.